Oh my god, dude. You have gotta be out of your mind. You have gotta be out of your mind. You cannot legitimately watch Solo Leveling Season 1 and tell me that show is a masterpiece. It's not good.
They didn't. It's the recency bias of Season 2. Every time.
It exactly is what it is.
I don't even know how it made it here as a nominee.
And the Anime Award goes to...
If it's not dangerous, it's an upset.
It's an upset. It's Blue Box.
Congratulations!
Are you kidding me?
Nope. They
Are
just
you
said Blue
kidding
Box.
me right now?
I'm putting that as 3 L's in the Crunchyroll L category. I have a counter for Crunchyroll L's. I just added 3 to it for that one.
Oh my gosh, dude. That is like... I don't even want to watch the rest. That's... I don't want anything else.
Yeah.
I'm done already. Good night, everybody. I'm done. I'm not even gonna start my stream. True. Again, I have to always think about the judges.
It was Mashal.
Magic and muscles.
Woo! Congratulations!
I'm decently on point with these calls.
I can't argue. I didn't watch it. It's fine.
No, I'll argue with it. It was not as good as the other ones, and I fully believe that it was solely because the opening brought it to the forefront for people.
I was gonna say that earlier.
Hey, mommy, what's up?
What was the main character?
Best main character was Sung Jin Woo from Solo Leveling, and yes, Mao Mao got robbed.
That's 2 massive L's already. That is 2 massive L's already.
I'm telling you, with the kind of people that they have on this, anything that has Solo Leveling in it, it doesn't matter if it fits. They could have put Solo Leveling in Best Romance, it would have won Best Romance.
Yep.
Like, it's just gonna win no matter what.
And I think that's kind of one of those problems where I don't... It was popular last year, but I think the biggest problem is that I think it's going to have a lot of that recency bias with Season 2. Season 2 just slaps so hard.
She's speaking English.
Live from Tokyo.
They're translating English into English right now.
His napkin's distracting me. I don't know why. I don't know why his little napkin is distracting me. It's not that it's contrasting. It's just there. It's just there.
Do you think it's real? Do you think it's a real handkerchief, or do you think it's one of those fake suit ones where it's like sewn onto the pocket?
There's no bulge.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it's just sewn on to look like it's there. Or he forgot to tuck his pocket back in. It's just the inside of the pocket popping up.
Yeah, it's totally just like it's folded out. That's totally what it is.
Those millions of votes cast.
He's gonna go in the back and go. Something like, dude, you forgot to take that out.
Son, why didn't you tell me before I went in there?
He starts just beating people
again.
Animation.
Just abusing people. Just chasing them out into the stage.
Oh, it's lagging for me. Did it just freeze for you too?
That's a live stream issue. Yeah, that's their end.
Oh, good. Tech issues again this year.
GG.
I'm just gonna skip ahead. I don't need to hear his speech.
Skip it. I don't care what he says.
I don't care about his speech. It's lip service.
Pre-wrote crap. Yeah, pre-wrote crap that your PR dude made.
Yeah, exactly. What?
Demon Slayer.
I like that. I like that, but I'm surprised. I have no clue how that can work.
I'm flabbergasted.
I'm surprised that there's still, even with a training arc, there's still that power of the Demon Slayer.
Yeah, I'm still gonna count that as a Crunchyroll L.
Best Isekai anime.
Isekai.
Did they just say Isekai?
Isekai.
Okay, I wasn't hearing things.
Isekai.
This is not an isekai.
Yeah, that's the first one that was like a WTF. I think there was 2, and that was WTF, wasn't there?
I feel like there was a second one, yeah, but I don't.
This one was the biggest, though. Yeah, obviously, it's a video game. It's gonna be slime.
ReZero.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll take it. I'm not mad.
Yeah, not an L, but you know, I really would have loved Mushoku to get a win for once, for God's sake. Zoom meeting. Honestly, Slime Season 3 could have been an email, bro. We did not need that many meetings. That could have been an email.
It could have been. No, it could have been a BCC. That's how bad it was. Because
Seriously,
it's literally about telling everybody what's going on, but you have to talk to every single company. and you don't want to
I
know
think
who you're talking
we reiterated the same thing probably like 7 times
to.
throughout
That was
the
the
season
worst
at
thing
least.
about it. Oh, by the way, did you know that he became a demon? Hey, by the way, did you know that he became a demon? Hey, did you know this?
Hey, by the way, this is Rimuru. He's the Demon Lord. Just in case you didn't know. Demon Slayer.
No shock.
Son of a bitch.
No shock. Again, those fans are super passionate. Yeah, where was Mushoku Tensei in the continuing? Just so they could just be destroyed.
Yeah.
Both
Stomp
mentally
all
and
over it.
physically. Dude, look at his glasses. There is no reflection. There is nothing on the screens. There's literally nothing on the screens. He has no reflection whatsoever.
Yeah.
And the Anime Award goes to
Metallic Rouge.
Ninja Comic.
And I knew it. It's gotta be that one because it's Adult Swim. Everybody's gonna be paying attention to it.
God damn it.
I don't know anybody that liked that show. I literally don't know anybody that likes Ninja
I know
Kamui.
maybe 4 people that even watched it, let alone liked it.
True. That's the other part of it is barely anybody watched it. But those that watched it, they hated it after a while. Like against, I would have Girls Band Cry easy, Jellyfish easy, Train easy. I would even say Buchigiri. That whatever garbage
Buchigiri
show.
over this, yeah.
And I didn't like Buchigiri, but I would choose that. Yeah, Lazarus is totally gonna win next year. Dun dun dun.
Which one? There were 2. No
It's
one
gonna go to
voted
Nokotan.
for Sound Euphonium.
It's gonna go to Nokotan. Do it. Just
If it does, I'm gonna
take the
throw
band-aid
something.
off. Give it to Nokotan.
No, Make!
Makain, too many losing heroines. Congratulations.
I'll take it.
It's not Sound Euphonium, but I will take it and I will gladly accept it. It's like literally like the second one I would probably choose. So I'm happy. I'm happy. I'll take a win for Makane. I'll take a win for Makane. I'll take a win for Makane. I'm sorry, it's taking me a while to process. Do I want to accept this or not? I'm the guy that's going up on the stage and you're like, are you gonna come up on the stage? And I'm going, yeah.
We
Yeah,
won?
okay.
Wait, we won?
Yeah, okay. I'll accept it. I'll accept the award. Did she just announce an OVA?
No, season 2.
I'm joking about the fact that I'm saying it's a project number 2. It's like, wait, so season 2 technically, but yeah. So we have the second project we're doing. And watch, there's actually a separate project they're doing, and she would just announce it there, but nobody caught it.
It's just like you're gonna see an hour from now, someone's gonna be like, announced during the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, Makene, the movie.
Second project movie. Dang, he's got background music and everything for his speech.
He's still talking.
He's going. 10 minutes later. they're like got somebody in the background like mopping the floor and looking up like, what is it? He's talking at that screen. Yeah, we need Jeff Keighley to step in. Jeff Keighley's like, cut him off.
Oh my god, finally.
Everybody wakes up. There's a guy over there sleeping. Always looking at his phone. Yeah, he earned that money. He's like, dude, I'm flying all the way over there. I'm gonna freaking tell everybody what's up.
Smells like a tourist. Yeah.
This is what. I told Gemini to generate me a speech for an anime award, and this is where it did. Make sure to include a lot of references to inspiration for different shows.
He said so lovely.
Oh, Hidaka, yep. Oh my gosh. I love
The
my boy.
moment where
I love my boy so much, but no. I love my boy so much, but no.
One of those moments where I regret knowing Japanese and just hearing that before anything. I'm adding 3 L's to the counter for that one.
It's great music though. I don't think that's an L. It's just I don't. It doesn't.
It's an L in my book.
It doesn't win
only
against
because
Evan Call.
you know that anyone that voted for it didn't actually care about the music in it.
I mean,
Tell me how many of those
They could
people
love
actually
so-
have Dark Aria on their playlist.
they they love the Sawano Hiroyuki. I love my Sawano Hiroyuki.
Can you genuinely tell me how many people you think if you went to, let's say, a convention
Our next presenter,
Like one where they had dub voice actors. How many of those people there will recognize Hiroyuki Sawano Hiroyuki at all by name?
But I mean, the reverse is who's gonna know who Evan Cole is.
I mean, that's
Touche.
fair, actually. Touche.
Touche.
Okay, fair enough.
What are we talking about here? Oh my gosh! Wow, really? They chose something right.
You know what? I will subtract 2 L's for that one.
Out of everything, this is the first massive W.
Actually, yeah.
He's got a frieren doll, dude. He's got a frieren doll.
He's got a frieren doll.
He's got a freaking frieren doll. I want that so bad, dude. I want it so bad. W right here. Oh, she is such a cutie. Did I say it earlier?
I don't know if you did, actually. I know you commented on our dress.
That's like I think that's the thing that got me distracted last time because I got to see the whole thing. I was like, holy crap, that's Floof.
I was too busy looking at the Floof. I couldn't call her cute. So let me double back and say, hey, she's cute.
And then the second time I was talking about Stranger Things having made the dress itself.
Yep.
Girl, you're supposed to leave the couch in the green room. Why'd you bring the couch with you?
She's got the cushion.
It literally looks like cushions, dude.
Immediately I started thinking of the neck pillows on planes. You know, she's got that like all.
Dude, that looks so weird. No, give me back to the close up. Get that. This looks weird. This looks worse. Close up. What is that?
Yep. There it is.
Yep. Easy. It's an easy one. It's deserved. It wasn't like the greatest thing ever, but it easily the best film of the year, and I really enjoyed it.
I think Mononoke was better than Look Back. Hey.
Yeah, like I said though, nobody watched Mononoke, unfortunately. I mean, whoever nominated it did, but was it like 50 freaking judges? I'd probably say that only 5 of them probably watched Mononoke.
If you're lucky.
That's being generous. Let me dial it back. 3 people.
Yeah, exactly.
2 people. 3 people. 3 people.
Solo leveling.
Oh my god, dude. You have got to be out of your mind. You have got to be out of your mind. You cannot legitimately watch Solo Leveling Season 1 and tell me that show is a masterpiece. It's not good.
They didn't. It's the recency bias of Season 2. Every
exactly.
time.
It exactly is what it is. Solo Leveling 1 was not good. It is a popularity vote, no doubt. But the judges are supposed to be there to keep that popularity vote from taking over. They failed that miserably. There is no reason whatsoever why Solo Leveling should be the winner. 0.
Yeah.
0. It is a popcorn, turn off your brain, no substance whatsoever show. Season 2 is incredible. I love Season 2. Season 1 is not good. And it's nowhere near frieren. Oh my god, dude.
Screaming into the void, my friend.
This is horrible, dude. Absolutely horrible.
Dude, all I can remember is the 2019 awards when Demon Slayer won Anime of the Year, and I'm sitting there watching it on this and the first words out of my mouth are just, no! Because it beat Vinland Saga that year, too.
God, so bad.
Fun, but not great. No, like, seriously, I knew it was coming, so I can't even be overly angry. It's just disappointment.
Yeah.
It's just
I had a sliver, like I said, I had a sliver of hope that the judges was gonna tilt it.
You're
the
on
judges
the copium.
The judges don't want. Can we say that the judges just don't watch frieren either?
What an unforgettable
Did you see?
Yeah,
the
what an
lineup?
unforgettable night.
Congratulations.
What an unforgettable night. How we gave Solo Leveling the award.
How we gave them how many awards?
Oh my god.
I think they got like 4 or 5 awards.
How horrible, dude. The 2 biggest worst is the Anime of the Year and Romance. Horrible.
Yep.
Horrible, dude.
Thank you for allowing
I can't.
Do they have the awards winners yet up here? Dude, like, yeah, Anime Trending and Anime Corner, all these other groups, Reddit, they're knocking it out of the park with these awards. And Crunchyroll is getting stuck. Crunchyroll spends too much time trying to appease magazines and main publications by having their judges on their panels that they're getting left behind. It'll be nice that eventually one of those groups will actually gain more people paying attention to it. But Crunchyroll has too much. Crunchyroll has too much mainstay. Too much main attention.
I'm sorry, the credits popping up just made me lose it.
They should have had them jump in the air and pause frame. That's the Soul Leveling Awards.
Thank you for attending the Solo Leveling Awards.
Just jump
we'll
up.
see you in season 3. Dude.
That pretty much tells you that next year is gonna be nothing but solo leveling again.
Yep, because next year's gonna have season 2 qualifying.
If that beat Frieren, Aoyuki winning voice actress is great. That I think that was pretty much my pick. So that's a W. That's a massive W. Ending sequence, I mean, definitely like one of the weakest one was probably. I mean, I love that was TK Ling Toste, right? Request.
Yes.
I'm surprised they don't actually list the artist. Big shock. Opening wasn't a big shock. It's deserved. Soul Leveling opening, or for best score? No. That should have gone to Evan Call. Easy. As much as I love Sawano, he's literally like my favorite artist. I love his music so much. Evan Call nailed that. And I think a lot of that has to do with just like utilization of the music, which does go to the directors. Best anime song. Again, this category shouldn't be here. Again, this is literally the same freaking songs. It's just the stupidest category ever. Crunchyroll, get rid of this category.
No, for real.
Must protect character, Anya. Literally, that category was made for her. Wasn't the original first one? The first time they ever had protect was Anya.
No, I think the first one they had was actually Demon Slayer. They had it with Tanjiro.
No.
I'm gonna fact check myself, but I do remember Tanjiro being within it at one point.
I know he's been in it, but I think it was originally created
him
because
winning
they,
it. Him winning it. He would not have been Anya if it started with Anya.
I'm just talking about the origins of the category. I seem to remember that was made just for Anya. I could be wrong there.
Let's see. When did season 1 come out?
2021?
2021?
Probably.
I see a Must Protect in 2023, which had Boji, Anya, Komi, Kotaro from Kotaro Lives Alone, Kage from Rank of Kings, and Marin.
I seem to remember before then. Supporting character, like I said earlier, this category is the most scuffed category ever. The listings are horrible. Most of them aren't even supporting characters. So to see Fern, at least, even though... I thought it was... Fern won it? I miss her.
Fern won supporting character.
I was literally still half asleep when you said that. Oh my gosh, how stupid. This category is so stupid. Fern is not a supporting character. She is a main character.
Yeah, it's because Frieren's name is in the title, so they think it's Frieren and only Frieren.
For some reason, my brain was hearing Himmel. Even though I thinking back now, I know you said Fern. I know for a fact you said Fern, but my half-asleep brain was thinking, oh, Himmel won. That works. Fern is not a supporting character. She's legit, like, the main character for most of the show. It's her perspective most of the time. Anyways, sorry. Moving on.
So, we have a couple more that you're going to get really mad at when you actually see them.
Best main character song, no. He is like literally one of the worst wrote characters in the history of anime so far. I like the show again. I love season 2, but Song's character is the worst wrote character ever. Best slice of life should have gone to Song. Song. I'm so tired.
Soul Leveling should have gone to Soul Leveling.
Sound. Brain used the sound euphonium. Sound euphonium is literally like the only show that was like a pure slice of life show. But I'll take Makane. There was a side of me that almost wanted Dangers to win because it got robbed of romance.
Yeah, I was
but I'll
really
take
hoping
Makane.
it would, so it would get something.
I'll take Makane. This is a happy to see that it actually got attention. At least that Makane got attention. Best drama. There's a lot. I'm fine with this because I think that frieren is at its best when it gets into dramas, the dramas of the characters, their struggles, what they're going through, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not mad about this decision at all. What was the other one that we were kind of thinking about? You were pointing out, Apothecary Diaries, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I would want to lean
for main character.
I want to lean towards Apothecary Diary just because it's like nowhere else. Like none of the other categories are gonna really fit in. Honestly, that's the unfortunate thing about it.
I'm sorry, which category? I was reading something.
Drama.
Drama. Yeah, I would have gone Apothecary Diaries personally.
Super good. That first season's super good. But I think with that versus the two of them, I think Apothecary Diaries did have technically like a couple 3 or so episodes in the second core that was kind of weak. Can we be honest there?
Yeah,
I mean the Zelda puzzle episode. The Zelda puzzle episode was kind of weak.
Am I a bad person for saying I wasn't a big fan of the oh my god, Dancer on the Wall? Do you remember that episode?
Dancer on the Wall.
The girl who pretended to have sleepwalking so that she could be excused from being a concubine so that she could marry the guy that she
ending was
actually
good
was
though.
into.
I got emotional with the ending though.
No, yeah, the solution at the end was good, but I felt like the actual lead up to the episode was weak for me.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. Best isekai.
And that was like...
I'm not mad. Like ReZero is literally like, again,
good.
one of the 3 greatest anime of all time in isekai. So I'm not mad. There's a side of me that wanted Mushoku Tensei to win because honestly, ReZero is going to be in next year's as well. So you kind of want Mushoku to win now, and then ReZero can take the win the next time. But because this will be again nominated next year.
Yeah. No. Yes, it will because the second core was in February. You're right. That was actually one of my ones that I was saying could dethrone Solo Leveling if season 4 is in either winter or spring, since it's confirmed for next year, and it's good. It'll be fresh enough in people's minds that we'll get the recency bias effect, and they'll vote
that we've seen
season
with
3 part 2. Exactly. They'll vote season 3 part 2 based off of the performance of season 4.
I'm still not over Solo Leveling winning anime of the year. Anyways.
Yeah.
God damn it. So this is good. This is a W. I think Makane is like a semi W. Drama, okay. I'm fine with frieren winning there. It's pretty much a good W. So we don't have many like super nasties so far except for Fern. Fern is not a supporting character.
Yeah.
Everything else is okay. Main character song is dumb as hell. Action. Yeah. That's fine. Like dandadan was in this list, right? Dandadan should have won. For me. Easy.
Was it
down.
in the list?
It was. Dandadan was in there. Windbreaker, Demon Slayer, Kaiju, and Bleach. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So hear me out.
I
don't know if you watched it. I actually wanted Windbreaker to get action.
That's fine.
And it's because of the realism and the weight behind the fights compared to a lot of the more supernatural fantasy, those kinds of things. All great action, don't get me wrong. I just felt like Windbreaker resonated a lot more. Maybe it's because I have a soft spot for like martial arts anime where they actually do martial arts instead of ki blasts and shit.
Yeah.
So having one where they are actually just throwing hands, just like that was the pinnacle of action to me. Because you are legitimately just raw fighting.
Best comedy. It should have gone to Konosuba. I think season 3 was like a huge step up for them. But I didn't watch Mashal. And I know Mashal has a lot of popularity.
You know, Mashal only got a lot of recognition definitely because of the 8 song, I will tell you. Because if you are comparing just off of comedy, I'm someone who... I don't laugh at like comedy shows. Comedy has to be really good. Like the joke has to really land to make me laugh. Yeah. I genuinely laughed during Konosuba. I had a couple of chuckles during Delicious in Dungeon. I don't think I laughed once during Mashal. I think I was more looking at like, okay, can he just beat the shit out of this guy now than I was ever chuckling at any of the ways he did it. I don't think it should have gotten it in the slightest.
Yeah, it's one of those things where when I watched a good deal of the first season of Mashal, it's like I got the joke and I'm like, it just isn't for me. This isn't my gag. It's very One Punch Man, and again the Harry Potter jokes. It's parody of Harry Potter. Didn't work for me. Dungeon Meshi, I didn't laugh too much. There was a few really funny parts though.
Yeah, there were some where I like really laughed, but I think more throughout it, my interest was like, what are they gonna make? How's it gonna look? Why is this making me hungry? You know, that kind of thing.
It's like saying Sakamoto Days is funny. Yeah, it's... Moving on. Blue Box Romance, this is dumb as hell. I'm sorry. I haven't finished Blue Box, but this is dumb as hell because, again, easily... If the key thing is, like, if you look anywhere, any other site, any other anime awards, who won? Danger My Heart. Danger My Heart literally sweeped everywhere else. I don't think there was any other anime awards that it wasn't winning. I don't know what happened here. Well, I know what happened here. It's
High Dive.
It's for some... Yeah, High Dive happened against Dangers, and Netflix happened for Blue Box. Again, if you look at that judges list, it's a bunch of normies. A lot of normies in there. And what do normies have? A Netflix account. Oh, yeah, I watched Blue Box. That popped up on my screen when I was looking at my Netflix one time, and I watched it.
Yeah, something I noticed a lot of, because I'll get, you know, some people that I follow that they'll retweet or interact with normies who watch anime, because they'll have, you know, lower level intelligence conversations on occasion. And something I noticed a lot was Blue Box was generating a lot of attention in the normie community, and I didn't understand why. It just like everyone was talking about Hina and just the bag fumble for best girl a lot of the time, and it was just very surprising. I really thought that Netflix was gonna rob it of any attention, but it was just like constant attention in the normie circles. I don't know.
They love that feminist comment towards the later part.
You know what? That's exactly what it was. Definitely.
It supports feminism because she called him a feminist.
Yes. So suddenly it was the main show in all feminist circles that it required watching, you know?
Here's the thing. It's like I watched a good, like, 7 or so episodes, so take my word with a grain of salt. I literally didn't feel the romance.
It doesn't feel like one. It doesn't. It feels like maybe a coming of age with like a slight hint of dialed down drama. But it doesn't feel like the relationship's going to be the focus until season 2. I mean,
to be fair, it opens up with the crush aspect. I acknowledge that.
Yeah.
But I kind of noped out the moment that I seen, like, oh, here's the other girl that's going to lose. And she's obviously, like, super madly in love with him. And I think my biggest criticism that I have for the show early on was the fact that it just seemed like he's just sitting there constantly going, oh my gosh, I like her, I like her, I like her, I like her. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's only driving force? Like, I can't stand main characters like that. Like, his whole personality, everything is, I want to play sports because I want to be around her. I need to be around her because I've seen her one time cry. But at the same time, I did hear that it changes up. It starts to kind of get into the sports stuff, and then eventually gets into that whole, like, obvious heartbreak that's going to eventually happen. But Dangers was, like, so freaking good, dude. And it's actually getting into so much elements about love and self-acceptance. Literally, the core of the second season is about you can't love others until you love yourself. It's cinema. Like, it's absolute cinema. You can't love others until you love yourself. Anyways, I would even take Sign of Affection. Shoot, I would take Machine.
Yeah. Honestly, Sign of Affection was definitely my runner-up. I would have loved if they chose Scott Pilgrim just to piss everyone off, really. Like, that would have been the Ninja Kamui of romance right there.
I totally forgot that was there, honestly.
Yeah, that would have been the Ninja Kamui of romance picks right there. I would have.
Don't remind me about Ninja Kamui. Best background art. Yeah, I mean, this is easily like the best pick here. Apothecary Diaries, I would be happy with, but Frieren had to be. Honestly, I'd be mad if anything got chosen besides Frieren here. So this is a W. This is a W. This is a rare W.
Would you have been mad at Pluto? Really?
No, actually, no.
No.
I mean, Some of it.
It's not frieren, but I feel
Yeah.
like it has a certain artistic style that would have made it an acceptable avant-garde choice. A little bit of an abstraction, you know.
Director, this is easy. This was an easy W here. What he did with frieren was absolutely incredible. So I hope he's on board for season 4 or season 4. Yeah, we're going for season 4 of frieren now.
Yeah.
Sign it up. I'll take it. They're like, yes, we're announcing currently we're going 4 seasons.
Cut the check. Sign the contract. Full adaptation, just like Mushoku. Let's do it.
I wouldn't want anybody else to have this category. So that's a good W. That's a good W. The best character designs. That's fine. I don't really have a favoritism here. I do have a lot of love for Apothecary Diaries designs. But I'm fine with that.
For character design, admittedly, I was a little bit unbiased on this. The only one that I maybe was really pulling for was either dandadan or Delicious Dungeon, because I feel like all the other ones, barring Kaiju number 8, but of course that one had a lower production, so it kind of dragged it down with production IG. All of the other ones were very, I don't want to say generic, very human-based designs. It was a lot of normal designs, barring the exception here and there, you know? Whereas with dandadan and Delicious Dungeon, a lot of the characters, or if you want to call them characters for like things like the aliens or the yokai in dandadan, or the monsters in Delicious Dungeon, if you can qualify them as characters, the designs got to go out a lot more out there, you know? A lot more elements. Even frieren, despite being a fantasy anime, other than the demon who invented Zoltrak, can you name me a non-human basic design that they had? Like a non-humanoid design.
Non-humanoid?
Yeah. Non-humanoid. Like, didn't look like a normal person with just maybe a little extra features added on.
The dwarves?
Well, that's just a short human.
So, I mean, you're more favored towards the idea that something has to not look human in order for it to be good designs?
It's not that I favor them being not human to be
all
good
these look like
designs.
humans.
It's not that being non-human makes it a better design. It's that being able to pull off a good non-human design shows more skill in character design, in my opinion.
But all these characters
Like
look
being able to make. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I said for like dandadan and Delicious Dungeon, my opinion's a bit weird because I consider like the sumo alien that they fight in dandadan as a character. So the design of that, menacing, cool, sudden, like I found that really out there and really good, you know? That's why I said my opinion on it is a little bit weird.
Just very weird.
Yeah, I accept that. It's like with the ballerina. Like for her design, her human form, you know, her normal form is she's a character. So with her out there design, when she is a ghost, an apparition, whatever you would want to call it, it's a character, it's a design, and it's more out there. It's got a lot more detail, a lot more nuance, a lot more attention to it, in my opinion, than just, okay, here's short stack purple hair demon girl where we took just a long hair Uzaki, dyed her hair pink, and then added horns. And everyone waifu'd her and got mad when she got decapitated for some reason.
Yeah, I do agree with the idea that I think it's better suited for whatever medium you're going for, whatever the design is. I think it's good to have it not clash with things.
Mm-hmm.
How does frieren win Best Director, not Anime of the Year? Because Solo Leveling's not in Director. Why Solo Leveling's not in Best Director? I don't know. If it's such a great show. That's a really good question, right?
Because it didn't have a lot of good direction.
What?
I mean, realistically.
That's the biggest question right there. Why would a show that is Anime of the Year, why would their director not be in the directors?
That is actually a really good point. If
really
it is
crazy.
What was the criteria to let it run for Anime of the Year, if not the direction of the story that would qualify it for it? They just picked like, okay, what was the top anime of each season for those? Like they looked back in the Crunchyroll archives of popular anime. Okay, what were the top anime for that? Okay, pick the top 5 from each one. Remove the repeating, so take One Piece out of there. You know, remove anything that was a sequel, and then if we're left with like 1 or 2 per each one, we'll conglomerate those. There we go. We got Solo Leveling. We got frieren for 2 cores. Okay, it was both there and there. Right, that counts. All right, Dan. That's like, I would not be surprised if that's how they do it.
Are you saying that
for
all these
anime of
other
the year.
like most of the judges are just like basically I gotta fill out the card. They gave me this card that I gotta fill out, so let's just throw some stuff in there. Hopefully something doesn't pop up in there that's not actually like it. They should test this out. Like have some show come out one year that's really incredible, but don't license it, or license a show that was not there previously, just to have it in the top of a certain category the following year, and then all the judges think that it aired that year. And so they put it in they fill out in their cards, if this makes sense to anybody. That's totally what I can see happening. They look at the top of that year, and just because it was released in the year on Crunchyroll, they think it can be nominated. They would allow it, though.
Honestly, if you want a real test, someone with a huge bank account that happens to be listening or watching to this right now, go fund X-Arm Season 2, and then pay every Crunchyroll subscriber to religiously watch it and get it to the most popular anime for an entire anime season and watch it be nominated for Anime of the Year. That would be the ultimate test.
That would totally work.
Yep.
Best animation. Again, I knew this was going to win. I agree with you that I think I wanted frieren, but I knew Demon Slayer was going to win.
I wanted frieren. I was very surprised that Demon Slayer won with Solo Leveling in the same category. Because again, the recency bias, and people are going to immediately think animation and see that Baru fight in their head, and they're going to go, holy shit, that was so cool! And then just immediately click onto that, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
like, I don't know how it won. Genuinely.
Like I said, like I always say, when you first told me, or when we watched it, when that came up, my immediate thought was like, okay, if I were to take the stories of everything, so here's dandadan right here. I don't know what it's about. I don't know the characters, how the writing is or anything. I don't even know if the characters suck. And I have frieren here, and I have Demon Slayer. If I was watching just the visuals and I had no clue what the show was, it would go to Demon Slayer. Like, consistently across the board, the animation, the fluidity, the frames of itself of animation was much more in that one than anyone else. And like we were talking about, the idea of how many kind of frames is probably much higher for Demon Slayer than anything else. But again, for directing and what they did with the actual animation, frieren. Like, that, I kept talking about, I think I even talked about when we were talking about my anime of the year back then, which is like literally 6 months at this point, when I did my anime of the year.
Yep, on time.
Yeah. I felt like frieren, that later battle, was like proof of how to do a battle correctly. Because, I mean, I'm not going to name names because I'll get in trouble for this. I've seen some animation cuts and whatnot that people like go gaga over, and I go, that's great and everything, but I don't know what the hell's happening. And if I don't know what's happening in an action scene, a fight scene, then there's no point to the fight scene. If I don't know who's winning, who's got the upper hand at what point. With the last fight in frieren, that was incredibly well directed and animated because I knew exactly where everything was, even though there was nuclear bombs going off at the time. Like, literally there was nuclear bombs being formed and set off simultaneously, and I knew where everybody was at. That takes talent. That takes a lot of talent. But yes, there's a lot of scenes where it's just kind of chill. Here's them just looking on a scene. Now, granted, some really good animation in those scenes because in a lot of cases there's like, you know, blades of grass going off, the wind's hitting the blades of grass, all that stuff. But I'm not mad about Demon Slayer, as much as I don't think it's a amazing show.
Don't worry, I'm angry enough for the both of us. Without a doubt. Also, to address something in chat that was asked, if they think that To Be Hero X might be a anime of the year contender, I don't think that Donghua, I'm not going to say Chinese anime, I'm going to piss too many people off. I don't think Donghua have much of a chance in any of these awards, I'll be honest. Solely off the fact I don't remember ever seeing Link Click in any of the awards.
Right. I don't think Link Click has ever been nominated, and I just don't think there's enough people watching the show.
Yeah. It's not even about watches, because Link Click was very popular.
Yeah.
But despite that popularity, I don't remember seeing it in the awards at all. And I don't know if it just wasn't as popular as the other things, or if there is specifically a... Was there a criteria that they have to be made in Japan for the Anime Awards? Did they have that in the list of rules?
That's a good question. I would assume so. I would assume so.
Well,
but I mean,
if they were
2B Hero X
proper-
is an Aniplex production, so I don't think it'll be a problem with that. It's literally Aniplex. It's literally Crunchyroll. It's their property.
That's true.
So I don't think they're gonna keep it out. But Link Click was Crunchyroll too, right? Or Aniplex?
I believe it was, yeah, but yet never got anything.
I don't think many people watch it. Like, the judges aren't watching it. I would think that there's some judges that watch Link Click, but I don't know if they
Gigak does.
think it has
Gigak
any
raves
chance
about it.
But Gigak isn't a judge this year, is he?
He was one of the 50, I believe. I thought I saw his name on the list.
He probably
And
is.
he distributed one of the awards earlier, I think.
Yeah, I know he's there. But again, he's going up against how many 60 judges that have no clue what Link Click is, and they won't know what 2B Hero X is. Again, you always have to keep in mind that there is some good judges in this list. But most of them, they take the judges down. They took the judges off. Aww.
Did they? No.
I don't see it unless it's in the menu over here.
Let me see if I can find a cached page.
Why would they take the judges off here?
That is a phenomenal question for a different
It
person.
was literally up there when I checked earlier today, and I told you. But anyways, the whole point is that I don't know any of the people there, and no bash to them. But most of those people on that list are probably like going to be people that are, they're just mainstream journalists. And what do the mainstream journalists do? They write stuff that's going to get attention for their catalog or their site. They're not going off the beaten path for anything else. What's popular right now? Oh, solo leveling. Got to talk about solo leveling. I got to make an article about solo leveling every week because that's the one's going to get the clicks. Are they going to make an article about Link Click?
If it was made by Mappa, they would have made a rage article about how poorly the people making solo leveling are being treated.
Right.
Then we would have gotten the frame count for every episode because they would have talked about all the hard work that they're putting them through.
But again, to have all these people kind of come to an agreement of something besides something that's popular it's just not going to happen. You can't have that many judges and not just have them all come to the consensus of what is the most popular anime. And that's a kind of interesting thing, because I think early on when the judges, the whole Anime Awards was happening, the interesting thing that was sort of created was having a bunch of individuals that all consume hopefully a decent deal amount of anime, and have them to sort of guide the awards towards not just what is mainstream, but also to include things that the judges hopefully discovered that the main populace didn't pay attention to. And then when it goes to the actual vote, again, the judges are going to hopefully keep the control of the vote so that it doesn't go to completely, just the shonen fan base hitting the website and voting on the same thing over and over again every single day. It doesn't do that. In the end, what happens is there's so many judges that it's turning into just what the fandom is. A bunch of judges that all cover the same content because that's what gets clicks, that's what gets the attention on their website, their journal, and then the fandom itself votes the same direction. It's all kind of turning the same direction. There's no room for anything unique anymore. That's the sucky thing.
It's on the subject of the room for more unique stuff. I don't think it's that there isn't room for unique stuff to be pushed in. I think it's that the corporate overlords, to put it loosely, will purposely limit it to a very fine pool that ends up restricting it so much. Because, we get these celebrity judges that it's like the normal person, like we have a boxer, the normal person who is a sports fan who only just got a Crunchyroll subscription a few months ago because their friend offhandedly said solo leveling's really cool and showed them a clip of Sung Jin Woo throwing hands with a giant ant. And he was like, man, I kind of want to watch that. And then he saw that, and then Pro Boxer came on and said, damn, shonen anime is cool, and then showed off his 5 tattoos of just shonen anime that he has. And so that ends up putting in just another pure shonen fan that is just there watching an anime dub because they're like, oh, I can't read. It'll distract me from the hands. Come on. So it's not that there isn't room. It's that they purposely limit it so that we can't have it there. Because they put the people that are so simple-minded in front of the people that are even simpler-minded. Because those are the people buying the majority of subscriptions nowadays, unfortunately. Lord of the Mysteries
I really
is
shouldn't
fully
even
Chinese
do this
produced?
because it's just kind of, it feels nasty, but...
It feels yucky to look at.
No, just to kind of, I have no problem with these people. I really don't. And some of these people could
there's
literally
no
watch more
animosity.
anime than me. These people, this row right here, they could probably watch like 50 more shows than I am, and they're much more informed than I am. I don't know them. It's just, my whole point was that because you have this many people, this is too many people, that at some point the vote gets kind of saturated with the common denominator, which is what everybody is going to have to pay attention to, which is the big shonens. It becomes the same thing.
The other thing, actually, to play off of something that someone in chat said without actually going specifically, the multi-regional and multi-continental judges, right? You bring in the new restriction of licensing difference.
Yeah.
Because what if that judge that you brought over only has Crunchyroll, but in, like they said, Saudi Arabia, dandadan isn't on Crunchyroll or something, you know? Or dandadan isn't allowed on the platform because of some of the content or something, you know? You bring in multinational, multi-regional judges that not only might have more confined tastes, but might have more confined access as well, you know?
Yeah, and you have some regions where certain shows, the content itself is not allowed to be shown.
Like, if you have a judge from Saudi Arabia, and let's say, and this, I'm speaking as someone from that region, once again, from the West Asian region, around that area. If you had, let's say, Sasaki and Mino, you know, it's a boys love little romance show. If you had that, and there were 10 judges that brought that up as a potential nomination for best romance or something, right? No one from that region in Saudi Arabia or anything would have even heard of that show because that is banned over there. Whenever I go to Lebanon, you cannot find, like, just to bring up another example from earlier, you can't find Araimu in Lebanon on Crunchyroll. It's not available on there. Or Manga Sensei. You can't get anything like that content. You can't get Death Note in Lebanon. Most of the shows that I would watch during the seasonal anime were not available there because of some of their content, and I had to VPN to watch all of them. So, anyways, rant about the limitations of Anime of the Year over.
I was supposed to talk about with the whole thing with the Square Enix app and everything. It's like, this is a proof that the more this stuff gets global, the more difficulties you're going to run into. But yes, this was probably the biggest stinker of the entire, besides the romance and besides the anime of the year. I think Best Original was probably the biggest stinker.
100%.
Because I would give it to, I was more into Jellyfish than Girls Band, but I acknowledge Girls Band was very good. And I would even give it to Train. Train was not great the whole time. Like, I would admit, as much as I love it and I think it was creative, it's not like it was a great show all the time. But I would give it to any of these three. But Ninja Kamui?
Yeah, I want to know how that made it, because that's another one that it's like, there's no way that was popular vote. Who watched that? Who liked that? Who, not even just who liked it, who watched it? Because what was it on? It was on Adult Swim, so you either had to be up late at night to watch it air, or you had to have max of all subscriptions to watch it. Like, it's not on Crunchyroll, it's not on Netflix, it's not even on Hulu.
That's where it goes, that
like,
whole,
it's not on any of the three main ones.
Yeah, I think that's where it goes, that whole popularity thing, where it's like, somebody's going to click to this one, what, there's no soul leveling? Damn, why isn't soul leveling in this list? Because they don't know what original means. And then they're going to go, okay, well, yeah, I had Toonami on one night, and I seen some of Ninja Kamui, click that one. That's literally what I feel this category is, because most of the general public has never heard of any of these shows. They've heard of they've heard of Ninja Kamui because it was on Toonami. I wonder if Toonami
And
influenced
people
it
were
more.
hyping it up a lot because of the first fight scene, you know?
I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was good. I didn't think it was good.
Lebanon is super strict? No, we're actually one of the less strict in that area, too. That's what's crazy. And then we still...
Because it has ninjas in the title. Ninjas are cool.
Ninjas are cool.
Ninjas are cool. I like ninjas. Do they solo levels? Best
Girls
new
Band Cry
series.
is surprising to me, actually, as well, that it even made it on here. Not because it
That it
wasn't
made it on
great.
there is surprised, yes, because of how delayed it was.
How delayed it was, exactly. Because I don't think it actually made it onto Crunchyroll until this year, right?
No, I think
they added it in
I think it came in like
March.
right after, right?
I thought it was added onto the actual platform in like March or February of this year.
Maybe. But I think a lot of the judges probably snuck in their watching of it. Well, I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like, is it really a surprise that it got on the list when I think most of the judges probably had nothing to put in here because they don't even know what an original is, or they probably had to look it up, and they don't have any of these they watched. The only other...
How many original anime actually came out?
Right. The only other one that was not on this list that was actually a surprise to me was Bang Bravern.
Yeah, that did surprise me a lot. I do wonder why that one was snuffed, because that one was a big... Well, no, I don't wonder why that one was snuffed, because realistically, not a lot of people actually watch mecha anime nowadays. That is the... I think the statistic I saw was it's the third least popular genre right now in anime.
Right.
So having normie judges, it makes sense that something that has a big robot, despite the themes and despite the fact that it was good enough that some people actually chose it as their own personal anime of the season for the season it aired, it's not entirely surprising that they wouldn't have heard of it just because it has mecha.
Yeah, and my assumption, though, would be that there's going to be a few of the judges that are going to be in the know. Because there was, like, when Bang Bravern was airing, at some point it caught fire. Like, there was a few people that were like, oh, wow, this is actually really, really good. This is actually really funny or whatever. This is actually very creative. But I would imagine that them versus everybody else that's going to be like, okay, well, you know, this band show, whatever, was kind of fun, is going to pretty much bump it off. I agree with you. I just think that most people probably, it wasn't even on their radar.
And I think Metallic Rouge, the only reason that filled the spot instead of Bravern was because it was a Crunchyroll production. It was a Crunchyroll production.
Crunchyroll probably put it in there because they're like, we need one more to put in here. Because no, they only have like 5 they select. Let's put our show in there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was a co-production, so there's like,
just throw this in here. Best new series. Now that I think about it, yeah, this makes sense because, again, who won between these two in Anime of the Year? It was also obviously going to be Solo Leveling here, too. New show, though, this is kind of a dumb category because it's almost pretty much exactly going to be the Anime of the Year list.
Basically.
So this, unless something ends up in the...
Actually, was it identical to it? No,
it's the same list.
They are identical. Yeah,
it is the same damn list.
They are identical.
Again, this is like the whole OPED song. It's the same thing with continuing new and Anime of the Year. I guess there could be some crossover in case, like, again, a continuing show ends up inside of the Anime of the Year, but it's still stupid to have these categories repeat themselves.
No, like, seriously. It's because they need to pad time, realistically. Because, like, what other categories can they add to now replace if we were to take out, let's say, Best Anime Song and Best New Series, you know, just for starters. We take out those two. Now you need two new ones to go through. What else could they do? Because they already speed run through their foreign voice acting performances. They speed run through a bunch of the categories in the pre-show to begin with. What could you possibly add in to help pad that time for that studio they paid for?
Sci-fi, psychological, ecchi. They could have an ecchi category in there.
You have just named 2 things, right? First off, sci-fi, you'd be hard-pressed to find any of these normies that can fully define sci-fi or psychological. You would be hard-pressed to find any of these normies that can comprehend psychological.
I'm not going... Well, here's the thing. It's like, I'm not going for the idea that judges can fill the category. I'm just saying have the category. If the judges can't fill it out, stick whatever is the top... and I kind of said this before with the whole aspect of getting rid of the judges. You might, at this point, they might as well just go ahead and take out the judge out of the picture and just go based on their viewership on their site. Because they're doing basically the same thing.
You're out of your mind if you think they would ever do that.
Well, I know they don't do that because the publications will then shout out the anime awards in their publication.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they do it.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason why that judge thing is filled with tons of people that are publication writers. Anyways, I still want an ecchi category.
Yeah, I would love that, just to see how that would be one of those categories that lasts 1 year, and then they would profusely apologize after the awards.
It wouldn't even last the year.
Would never return.
It would literally be like, here is our new categories, and they list the categories, and literally within the day it's taken off there. And they never talk about it again. Anyways,
since you were saying the judges filling out the categories, I just want to remind you that they did put Shangri-La and Best Isekai.
Exactly.
I just want to remind you of that.
Exactly. In a year that there was a bunch of other ones that could have gone there too. Like, I mean, Weakest Tamer would be fine. Was it the Zetsupo guy? The Zetsupo guy. No Longer Allowed in Another World. That would have been a good selection too.
I would have loved No Longer Human in Another World.
What was the other one?
That would have been amazing.
I mean, I had a ton of options that could have easily gone in there versus.
No, yeah.
Again, a not isekai.
Yeah, no, seriously.
And I was gonna be really mad if it actually won. There was Isha last year
Shangri-La
too.
Yep,
Villainous
Isha.
Level 99 would have been great as well.
Yep.
Villainous goes down in history. Anyways.
Yep.
New series, whatever. I don't care. This still rubs me wrong that Soul Leveling won really anything, especially this. When you have Apothecary Diaries, and Apothecary Diaries literally was topping charts not only in the West, but in Japan. This show literally stole every single chart in Japan and the US. Leveling.
To steal the joke, it's just an Asian mom soap opera put into an anime.
Right.
Even my parents watch Apothecary Diaries, and they don't watch anime for shit. And yet Apothecary Diaries won none. Yeah, exactly. Apothecary Diaries didn't win a single category.
I'm fine with this selection of Demon Slayer. Again, I don't think it's like the greatest show ever. I think season 1 was fantastic. Same with like My Hero Academia. Like the first seasons were good, but it's kind of died. I would have rather, if I had to choose, I would give it to Oshinoko or Bleach.
That is a bold choice.
And again, I don't watch One Piece. I'm sure I think this is probably the biggest upset for most people. The majority of people are probably. This is probably the biggest upset.
One Piece wasn't going to win it. It lined up too much. They took it's won continuing before. Yeah. It also won film when Film Red came out, I believe, but it wasn't going to win this time. They came off a 6-month break, and then immediately, like a few weeks, that 6-month break was literally just recap episodes, reanimated recap episodes. It wasn't going to generate any hype to pull it forward.
Film of the year,
Best
I think
anime.
this is a pretty good win. Again, I haven't seen Colors Within. I didn't watch your next My Hero Academia. I'm not really excited to go watch it. I'm kind of surprised that
it wasn't good.
I'm surprised that Code White didn't actually win this. That's actually kind of a surprise. But I think the fandom for Spy Family is kind of dying away, and I think this is kind of a good sign of that.
I think Spy Family is going to die away until a specific arc that I read in the manga comes out. Then maybe it'll start generating more popularity, assuming we do get a full adaptation for the series, of course, that allows that. But the movie for both Your Next and Spy Family weren't great. I'll be 100% honest with you. I've watched every.
They're both
movie
original,
on this
right?
list. Yes. All of the My Hero movies are original that then they incorporate into the story later on by writing in like dredges into the actual anime. So like references that will pop up. Like Armored Might, his suit was made by a character introduced in the first movie. So there's that whole connection there. And apparently, supposedly, unverified. I don't know where. I don't remember where I heard this, and I don't know where the person I heard it from heard it. But apparently, there is still like another 3 movies planned out, despite the fact that the final season literally comes out in October and will end the thing. So I don't know what the hell they're planning with the other 3 movies, but
well, you know what they're planning.
Yeah. No.
You know exactly what they're planning.
I mean, they're making a live action. Trust me, they're yeah, exactly. They're double-headed.
Go crazy with it. Um. Either way, yeah, like I said, Look Back was a good film. I enjoyed it, so I'm not
Best
upset
choice
about
of this list.
Yeah.
Best choice of this list.
And then yeah, anime of the year. I think this is proof the anime awards is cooked. And it was funny because when I did my video talking about this list, like overall, like I had my problems, like again, like the isekai, the comedy stuff being in slice of life, the supporting character list was dumb, the repeated song category, but the nominations I was fine with. Like I wasn't that mad. Like there was some misses here and there, but it was a good list.
It's never the nominations; it's always the winners that we get pissed off about.
Well, no, not really necessarily. Yeah, we get mad about. That's correct. You're correct. I do still have a standpoint where I'm not so much personally about who wins, but who is nominated in a lot of cases. That's why I like more categories. I like more shows getting at least a bunch of people watched an awards ceremony and a name was mentioned. A show like if you had the slice of life category, Kotaro lives on Yuzuki family's 4 sons.
Yuzuki. Yes.
The Shunji family's 4 sons.
Shunji. Yeah, gender swap Shunji family real quick.
Shunji family's 4 sons.
I'd watch it.
Like having that type of show, like just mentioned, it's like, this show that I found very special that most people didn't watch, but then it gets that tension. What's this show? I'm gonna go check out this show. That kind of stuff I love. Do it yourself. Getting people to go, oh, there's a show called Do It Yourself. What is this about? But yeah, it doesn't. What was I going with this whole thing? It had a good list. They had good lists. But it still comes into the end. At the end of the day, when Crunchyroll Anime Awards actually airs, you realize at the end of the day, it's still a popularity contest. And yes, like you were kind of mentioning, and I completely agree, there is an element here where I think recency bias still affects people. Because damn was Season 2 of Solo Leveling not freaking amazing. Even though I think Sung is still not an incredibly rote character, even though he's winning main character, it's still going to end up pushing that vote. And incredible shows like Frieren, Apothecary Diaries, should I even give it to Delicious Dungeon? Dandadan still gets smoked. It's sad.
Yeah. With main character in mind, it's never the well-written characters. That's the thing. If we were having well-written characters, Rudius would have been up there in some of the older ones, because especially while it did have lower quality, his ED arc was very well written for his personal growth, in my opinion. I still constantly replay in my mind that motion where he went to stab himself in the swift animation that they had, where Paul Jr.
best
saved
bro
him.
Soldat comes stepping in. Paul Jr.
Exactly.
What the hell?
I call him Paul Jr. because a friend of mine confused him and Paul because of the design, the green and all that.
No, what are you talking about? Dude, just because of green? Because of green.
The green in the hair. But yes, when Soldat stopped him from doing that, the swift movement in that, like the growth, the depth of the feeling, like that's well-written main character right there. A lot of the stuff he does, the growth that he has is well-written main character and creep, and that's what makes him well-written. But with this, they don't care about well-written. Yeah, exactly. Great. Well-written.
Yeah.
It's not that Sung Jin-woo is well written, and that's not why anyone chose him. It's because they look at it and they go, "Oh my God, he's so cool!"
Then
they immediately are like, "That makes him a great main character." Exactly. They look at him and they're like, "He's cool," and that makes him an amazing main character. I mean, I had a friend sit down. He barely watches anime, but he sat down and he binged both seasons of Solo Leveling, one day per season.
So and popcorn.
Exactly. He sat down and he actually watched them, and just about every 10 minutes, whenever Sung Jin-woo would do something cool or aura farm, he would just he would head in hands, just he's so freaking cool. Like it was just legitimately his reaction watching.
Even in the first season.
Even the first season, if he did something cool, he would have a reaction like that.
He did something cool in the first season.
on occasion.
He's like,
when
he
he
just kind
said
of claws
arise.
at the enemy and just somehow wins in the end. Just pushes that
Yeah.
last time. Got to scream. Brrr. That, I guess that's the whole cool thing is the brrr.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. So, like, I'll use him as an example because while he's a friend that I value and love, I'm still gonna make fun of him for having simple child brain and sitting down and going shiny shonen. This is great, you know, awesome. I respect that he at least will watch it and subbed, but you know, he'll sit down and he'll watch it and he'll go, "This is cool," and then he literally gave Solo Leveling Season 2 a 10 out of 10 rating. You know, like. When he gives something like, you know, Mushoku Tensei, he doesn't even finish the show.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It is a very popcorn consumable show, no doubt. And again, that gives to that aspect of why the vote is so heavily on Solo Leveling is that more people will sit still to watch something like that because it doesn't take too much investment. There's no conflict there. There's no difficulty. It's just as simple as guy has problem, pushes through problem, and you kind of want to root for him because he's the underdog. It's that whole difficulty that comes with the whole most popular shows. It's like, can you seriously say that something is great because a lot of people watch it, or is it great because it's actually got good writing, good development, good storytelling, great characters, complexity, all that kind of stuff? That's the problem. The biggest surprise of yours.
Biggest surprise of this year's awards. Oh.
Let me look at the main list again. Probably that Makane won something.
That was a big shocker, actually.
I wasn't expecting that at all.
I think my biggest surprise is anything winning in a category where Solo Leveling was nominated.
True.
Because I think the only thing Solo Leveling was nominated in that they didn't win was Best Animation that they lost out to Demon Slayer. That is the only thing where Solo Leveling was on the screen and did not automatically win.
Did I even have any surprises? Probably Kichiro
Makane
Saito winning
Slice of Life.
director. Because wasn't the director for Solo Leveling in there? No, it wasn't.
No,
okay,
he
that's
was
right,
not
because
in that
we
one.
were complaining about that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. The only one, yeah, we were like, why is it anime of the year if it doesn't have good direction or a good director? Yeah.
Right.
The only category Solo Leveling was in that it didn't win was Best Animation. That is literally it. And I still don't understand that. I cannot mentally comprehend how that occurred. Because people will just, oh no, sorry. They also didn't win Best Anime Song and by extension Best Anime Opening because they're the same fucking category. But it still somehow won ending and score. So it people just have monkey brain. They see Solo Leveling and they click it. So anything that it was nominated in that it didn't win, those are my surprises. Because I didn't expect enough people to read the requirements of the category and click something other than just ooh shiny Jinwoo.
I wonder if did they fix the isekai? I to answer the question, no. I don't think anything actually like I went, wow. I think earlier you could, if I have the VOD or whatever for this later on, you can go back. I think there was something that kind of surprised. It was probably Makane getting something was kind of a surprise to me.
Yeah, you definitely had a big reaction to that.
Isekai. Did they change the description of Isekai is the question mark. The most captivating Isekai storytelling transports the viewer to fantastical worlds brimming with adventure and intrigue. This series are renowned for their imaginative world building and spellbinding plots. They invite the viewer to explore new realms, offering an immersive journey where the rules and reality are beautifully redefined. So they didn't change it. It still literally is everything. The most captivating isekais transports the viewer to a fantastical world. That's literally every single show. Every show is an isekai. Because it transports the viewer to another show. It's supposed to be it transports the character to another world. They probably wrote it that way just so that they didn't get yelled at for having Shengo.
What do you mean they wrote it? Come on, it's AI generated.
It's AI generated.
All of these descriptions are AI generated. They have a premium subscription to ChatGPT for this shit.
So use ChatGPT.
Are you gonna?
I'm gonna literally ask it to give me a description of Isekai.
King Aaron, you're saying Solo Leveling winning Anime of the Year was a surprise for you? If you think that's a surprise, you have not tuned into enough Crunchyroll Awards. It is always a popularity contest. If you can look at something and say, yeah, the normies watched that, that won Anime of the Year. Like right now, it's looking like Solo, and we'll do it again next year.
So it says the isekai genre transports characters from their ordinary world to fictional realms, where they often discover new powers and face extraordinary challenges. It celebrates the spirit of adventure, transformation, and limitless possibilities of imagination. In this genre, the journey is not just to another world, but towards self-discovery and destiny. I like that little flare at the end there. That's a way better description.
Yeah.
So that tells me that an AI... I think I do kind of agree with a lot of people. I don't think that it's we can anymore say that something is AI generated because it's bad, because AI can do better than that. It's
You
just
know what?
It's just
Instead of
somebody
AI generated, it's Kotaku generated. There you go. It
yeah,
was Kotaku generated.
it's somebody that doesn't watch shows generated. Oh, I have to do something for Isekai? What does that mean? It's transported to another world. Okay, but the viewer gets transported to another world. Well, Andrew, I guess the faith at Anime Awards lies in so-called niche community anime awards like Reddit, Anime Corner, and Anime Trending. Yeah, Anime Trending and Corner for sure did very well, that I noticed.
What can we conclude from this year's Crunchyroll Anime Awards? Did it meet expectations? Yes, it exactly met my expectations, and I am exactly as disappointed as I thought I would be. I am just as disappointed as I thought I would be, because the one or two little wins that we got were definitely heavily outweighed by all of the L's. My final count was, I guessed 13 out of 24 of them correct, and 15 out of 24 were Crunchyroll L moments. Granted, those are a little bit inflated because a couple of these were heavy L's that I added multiple to, but it is heavy L moments.
But yeah, thanks for coming on here. Well, not really. Me making it on
Not
time,
really.
me arriving extremely late, but thanks for being on here with me and at least keep me awake while this train wreck of a award ceremony happens.
And thank you for joining me. It was a lot of fun as always.
But yeah, thanks to everybody that dropped on for the stream itself. But I'm gonna head to bed. I'm gonna get some sleep. Hopefully my Superhero X video posts automatically, because I'm gonna be like dead asleep. But I thank you guys for joining me. Until next time, y'all have a good one.